Hey y'all, and welcome back to Moments with Miss Amy. I am so glad you joined me. I don't know how you guys are doing today, but I'm telling you what, today is one of those days where I have to declare that it's a good day. I have to declare it. And why is that? Is it because anything's been going wrong or that it's a rough day or a bad day? Not really. It's just a blah day. Have you ever had those? I know I do. Sometimes it just happens. It's like, okay, my hair doesn't even look bad today. I mean, it should be a good day, right? But no, it's not a bad day. It's just, I don't know. I don't have much motivation. I don't know. It feels like everything's being a struggle today. So it's on days like this that I pop over to a scripture. Come on, y'all. You know I got it wrote down, even though this one I have pretty well memorized because it's my favorite scripture. It is. So this one here is Psalm 118, so 118, verse 24. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Depending on the version, some of them say we will rejoice and be glad in it. And some of them, change up the wording just a smidgen in there. But that's how I have it memorized with me. And I'm telling you, sometimes I just have to keep thinking that verse and saying it out loud to remember this is the day, okay? God made today, and I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. And that can be a struggle. Some days we do have things that are going on that make it very hard to rejoice. Now, what do I mean by that? I know if you guys saw my thumbnail, it's got me laughing and being happy, which is one way of rejoicing. But, we don't always have to be, I'm so, laughing and happy and whatever else to be rejoicing. Rejoicing is being grateful. It's being thankful that there are things happening in your life that are good things. For myself, I feel like the reminder to rejoice and be grateful is a key component in my joy in my life. What do I mean by that? Okay, I go through periods of time where I forget to be grateful. I do. And so sometimes things will happen to help me remember that. In fact, just recently, I started reading a new book. It was something that was recommended by someone else. And it's really a neat book. It's by Rhonda Byrne. It's from the Secret series, and it's called The Magic. And I wasn't too sure at first. I'm like, oh, is this one of those like magical type of things? Which I totally believe in energy and things like that. But I don't want to get into some huge, magic discussion because for myself, there's some questions on some things. But anyway, this book, right off the bat, one of the first things is it jumps in and talks about a scripture that I don't have the address to. Probably should have done that before we started this talk. Didn't think about it. But anyways, it just talked about what you have, you will have more of, and what you don't, you'll end up losing, which is kind of a confusing scripture. And so it'll be something that, like I said, later on, I'll actually devote to that one. But the point of it was gratitude. When we have more gratitude, it actually creates more. And when we don't, then we begin to lose the thankfulness for even what we currently have. And sometimes I run into that thing. Sometimes I run into not feeling very grateful, not feeling very thankful. As most of you know, I'm Moments with Miss Amy. I'm happy. I'm always upbeat. Except that I'm not always upbeat. Sometimes I struggle. And maybe you do too. One of the things that I found that helps me is if I'm struggling, if I have that awareness brought to me, just like that book did about gratitude, and I start making changes in my life to show more gratitude, to have more gratitude, to be more aware of what I'm thankful for, all of a sudden I find myself feeling better, feeling more like myself, more full of joy, and yes, more energetic, because truthfully, that's who I am, okay? And so the scripture talking about remembering God has made this day and that we will rejoice and be glad in it helps me to remember to be thankful, to be grateful, and it also helps me to take a different look at the day. Sometimes I've gone through things that aren't very pleasant. My first reaction to it is, oh, this is not good. I have to stop myself and look at, why am I going through what I'm going through? Is there something I can learn from it? Am I going to appreciate things when they're better, smoother, easier, whatever the case may be? And is there a reason that why I'm going through this right now is putting me to where I'm going to be next? Because that can happen. You know, sometimes we go out and we're on our way somewhere and there's a detour and we're a little frustrated. Why do we have to take this detour? Why do we have to go around? But if we'd have kept going straight, maybe whatever it was that was going on, we might not have wanted to go through it. Maybe there's a bridge out and you have to go around it because you can't exactly go if there's no bridge, right? And sometimes that happens in life, not just in your car. Sometimes you're given a detour and you can be frustrated and upset in that moment. But then when you take that detour, suddenly you find, oh, wow, if I hadn't have gone this way, I would have never experienced this or met this person or learned about this place. And so you find out that actually going around what you were familiar with instead of going through ends up opening doors that you would have never opened because you weren't aware of them. So the next time you're feeling maybe a little blah, a little frustrated, stop for a moment and think, am I being grateful? Now you might think to yourself, what do I have to be grateful for? Hey, if you're watching this video, you should be grateful you have the technology to do that. And maybe you have a phone. Be grateful for that. Be grateful that you can breathe. Be grateful for whatever you've got going on in your life, whether it's something you're learning from, something you're loving going through, whatever it may be. Stop and look at it and realize, wow, have I spoke about being grateful to this? Have I thought about being grateful for this? For myself, obviously, y'all know I'm a believer, so I tell God, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe that's not what you believe. And you know what? I can talk to you about what I believe, and you can believe what I believe, or you can believe what you believe, but irregardless, you can still be grateful and you can still be thankful. So I'm just reminding you today that, hey, today is the day that you can change your life. You can be more grateful. I fully believe that when we are more grateful, that we bring positivity to ourselves, that we attract it. When we're not being negative, when we're being positive, to me, I know that there is more positive that comes at me. And I love that. And I love sharing it with other people. Have you ever been on the phone with someone and you've just been having a tough day, and suddenly a friend calls from out of the blue or something like that, and they get talking with you and get you laughing, and you realize somewhere along the line, wow, I feel so much better than I did. Their positive energy rubbed off on you. Their positive outlook rubbed off on you. Tell them thank you. Let them know you're grateful for it. And you know what? Take that happiness that you've got and share it with others. Spread it like a positive virus. Make other people around you laugh and be happy as well. So those are just my thoughts on this day as I've been claiming my rejoicing and being glad, because I know that the more I do it, the better my day's gonna get. And I hope I've made yours better too. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to click that little bell. And I want to thank you again for joining me for Moments with Miss Amy.